I have a cousin who is a very practical fellow, a tradie, and he's a good bloke, and he has a utility, and of course he likes to show us how much he can carry in the back, the capacity for all sorts of things, including the business and of course the family. And they can fit in the car as well. It is a dual cab. Now, I'm not competitive, but I did have a vehicle this week that I just had to show him. And I also wanted to take it over and show his partner, his wife, who works in an interior design and fit out company, and they need to carry around a lot of gear. Let's have a look at this particular vehicle. One of the biggest increases in freight transport is not 9-axle B doubles going down the Hume Highway, but catering for small deliveries, including parcels. April 2020 was a horrid month for most of the vehicle industry with COVID-19, but sales of the Renault Master van, with their latest upgrade, were way up on last year. There are 3 basic types you can get: the front-wheel drive, the rear-wheel drive with dual rear wheels, and the platform cab, on which you can build up to suit your own needs. The front-wheel drive model, which we'll concentrate on, comes in 3 lengths. The short, which has 8 cubic metres in the cargo area, medium 10.8 cubic metres, and long 13 cubic metres. We had the long model with a manual gearbox. It's not only long, it's also tall, 1.9 metres of headroom in the cargo area. On the outside, with a stubby nose and square shape, it looks an up-to-date modern van. We took it to a storage place, and a local bloke there, who looked like he'd driven a lot of vans, raved over the look. But that could have been because it was clean and unscratched. He kept asking me about the power of the engine and would I chuck a wheelie. I declined, with an effort. It has double doors at the back, and we had as standard the left side sliding door, which was great. Actually, sliding doors on both sides is an option. The overall length of the 3 front-wheel drive versions are short 5 metres, medium 5.5 metres, and long 6.2 metres. It comes with a lot of colour options, but I think most will be white. I wouldn't pick one of the brighter colours for the aesthetic appeal, but they might suit your business brand colours. It has a simple interior with a 7-inch infotainment screen. Passenger vehicles are in a race to give the biggest screens, but perhaps it is vans that need the largest to provide the most opportunity to read the navigational map. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto smartphone replication is great if you are on the run all day with deliveries. There is a number of shelves and storage spaces, some in the roofline above the passengers and driver, some just on top of the dashboard, a few below the dashboard, the usual pockets in the doors, which work well, and even under the passenger seat. It has 3 seats in the front. The centre seat is really only for use as a necessity rather than a comfortable touring position. They are set out in a bench seat fashion. The gear lever is just below the dash, but not on the floor. This means you can place things on the floor there, or get in and out of the seats if one side of the vehicle is parked in. Apparently you can get a premium dashboard with chrome trim as an option. Not sure how much that means to the ease of driving or delivery. Some of the controls in French cars have strange symbols on them. To the right of the steering wheel in the Renault Master, you have a stalk that allows you to pick audio or radio and do something with them. I think the symbol refers to the adjustment roller on the back of the stalk. All models have a 2.3 litre 4-cylinder diesel engine. With the 6-speed manual gearbox, the motor is twin turbocharged, With a 6-speed auto, it has a single turbocharge. Not a lot of difference in the output figures. 120 kilowatts and 360 newton metres for the manual, and 10 less in each of those for the automatic. The engine is situated low in the bay with plenty of room around it, but the bonnet has all the dimensional characteristics of a letterbox opening. Fair bit of work will be done from underneath, I would suggest. The COVID-19 pandemic has focused our attention on truck and delivery drivers as essential service providers. They deserve to have a comfortable environment which also enhances safety. The Renault Master was comfortable and remarkably easy to drive, including the manual, which was light and precise. Now, there is a solid cargo barrier between the load area and the front driver and passengers. This not only stops items being thrown forward, which are then dangerous projectiles, but the immediately obvious benefit was that it made the cabin much quieter. Cargo areas, especially when empty, act like echo chambers, creating a tiring, even distressing drumming sound for the driver. The barrier made driving distances far less tiring. We had the twin-turbo manual, as I've said, and there was an obvious point when you press the accelerator firmly that the second turbo came into action, giving a surge of power. Not race car performance, but a reassuring feeling that if you had to get a move on or to pass another vehicle, even on a multi-lane road, then the van had solid capabilities. In terms of manoeuvring, the steering is light, but not surprisingly it has a rather large turning circle at 15.7 metres. One thing that happened while driving, we entered a location in the navigation system, and periodically we kept getting a beeping warning sound that we could not relate to anything in particular. The vehicle has a fair range of standard safety features, with options for some models. There's standard electronics of ABS, stability control and emergency brake assist. The vehicle determines that if someone jumps on the brake suddenly, then it must be emergency. Now, quite often, we don't press the pedal hard enough. The system adds extra force to the braking right up to the point of the ABS starting to work. There is an option pack that includes safety factors, but it can only be had on vehicles with a manual gearbox. It includes automatic high-low beam function, blind spot warning, and lane departure warning. But there is no automatic emergency braking, where a vehicle detects a likely crash and applies the brakes without relying on the driver. That is, of course, necessary for a 5-star rating in a passenger car. There are some other nice standard features, which include hill start assist, a rear parking sensor, but not a front one, that's an option, front LED daylight running lights, automatic dusk sensing highlights, automatic rain sensing wipers. And there are 2 rear vision mirrors on each side, one to pick up the blind spot, one to pick up the general traffic. A great idea without having to have a convex mirror which doesn't give a clear indication of the distance to the nearby car. A van of this size is both a carrier and a play area, even a dance hall. However, it is best to make sure that you park it on a level surface. The great advantage of so much space is that you can pack it inefficiently and still fit most things in. The height is perfect for fridges. I did receive a complaint that there was not a hydraulic lifting device at the back, but beggars can't be choosers. Unlike a normal ute, it cannot easily double as a family car, as its natural enemy is an underground car park and a shopping centre, or tight parking spaces, and of course small items like shopping can roll around in the back. The third seat in the middle is fun for the kids for a short while, and if you're old enough, your partner can sit there and remember the closeness of bench seats. The smallest Renault Master van, front-wheel drive, starts at $44,500 with a manual gearbox. To move up to the medium-length one costs an extra $3,000 and the long wheelbase an additional $2,000. In each variant, the automatic will cost an additional $2,500. So for the top-of-the-range front-wheel drive model, it costs just on $52,000. At this time, they are drive-away prices. So in conclusion, I thoroughly enjoyed it for a week. It was easy to drive around and help out a few people, and it created some fun opportunities with the young members of the family. If it was for business, I would settle into it comfortably. The only thing is, if you or your business were to get one, I would only tell good relatives or very close friends, or you could be helping people move every weekend.